Hey fam, I thought I'd pull us a few cards to see what their collective energies are and what the updates are from Source and from Spirit and our ancestors collectively. So yeah, I'll pull from this animal deck and maybe some tarot as well. Okay. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well and is safe. Guidance and information you have for us, the collective. Today we have the gorilla. Take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. What guidance do you have for us, the collective, today? We also have the chimpanzee. Use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your questions. We'll do one more. Guidance information do you have for us, the collective, today? Cool, the honeybee. Let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation. So compassion's a big theme for us. We also have the camel that wanted to come out. So that says trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. But I'll put that one back. Oh, and also on the base of the deck, the polar bear. Stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcome. So heaps here on compassion. So yeah, I guess collectively for us, today, this week, there's like encouragement for us to really listen to those around us that we love, be there for those that we love, that are family, whānau, abusia to us. I like this card because it's always reminds me of like you never know what affirmation, what guidance, what messages you're going to get from those around you. And Source and ancestors can talk through our loved ones around us. So being open and receptive. Also, this is really a card of support, like supporting others in community. So if there's, something that you can do to help someone out this week, that's encouraged, even if it's just listening to whatever is going on with them. A lot of compassion seems to be needed for each other and for ourselves. And compassion can be like just having understanding for what someone else is going through, and giving them the space and time to be within that energy and doing what we can to support and uplift the person or people, whatever, ourselves. The chimpanzee. Use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your questions. So yeah, I guess this week or moving forward, our mind is going to be a navigating tool for us, and it is important for us to look at things like logically as we make decisions, but to also pair that with our intuition. Doing what feels good for us and using our internal navigating systems, listening to our body when it comes to making decisions might be necessary. And I'm also seeing that in terms of like us dealing with others. So maybe the ways in which we are being called to nurture family or those around us right now might require us to really tap into logical thinking, even quick thinking, but also like tuning into our intuition as well. So what is a practical thing that this person might need, but also what's something that might be, what's like your like nurturing instincts telling you that this person might need as well, and how can you put those two things together? And also, I guess, in regards to solving our own issues, challenges, obstacles, and things that come up, questions that we have. Some of us may have questions to do with our own stuff and things that we're going through, and these conversations or the listening and the compassion that we have for our family. I'm also hearing elders And for those that are around us, might be what actually brings answers up for our own circumstances. So yeah, staying open and receptive this week is really, really important. I'm also hearing and seeing uri in the word gorilla, like ORI. And so if you don't know what that is, within Ifa, which is a Yoruba or African traditional religion, if you want to call it that, the uri is the spiritual head, and the uri is also I guess can be seen as your higher self. So I'm also seeing that Source is reminding us to listen to our higher selves this week. And that takes me back to the intellect being paired and balanced and harmonious with intuition. You know, if we're operating from our higher self, both those aspects of ourselves will be operating and flowing. And so allowing our higher selves to lead us this week, that may even be a bit uncomfortable in terms of allowing or needing to take the higher road, which is not always like the funnest thing to do, but that might be tied into the compassion side of things as well. But yeah, really listening to the guidance of our higher self. If you're not too sure on how to do that, you can grab a pen and paper and write down, sit in some meditation, create space where you're feeling comfortable, connected to your breath, and maybe doing some journaling to do with like what is my higher self telling me or leading me when it comes to this decision, or anything that's happening, and just doing a free write. So a free write is like just writing out whatever comes to you straight away without over intellectualizing it or thinking about it too much. You can also ask your ancestors to guide you on how to connect better with your higher self and see what comes through intuitively. But within all of this, going back to the honeybee, let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority. Yeah, a lot of us might, or some of us might be called to forgive others for certain things, even forgiving ourselves for things that have happened in the past, or the ways in which we've gone about things, or even family members, those that have been close to us. I'm also seeing within this forgiveness to remember our boundaries as well and be clear on what they are. But within all this compassion and balancing within our problems and whatever it is that we have to resolve, there is a lot of sweetness to be found and joy to be found within this. And yeah, it may be work, like hard work. You know, sometimes it is to access actual compassion. And I'm hearing that there's a difference between like compassion as an action and then compassion, like being compassionate within our thoughts and our mind space as well. So I feel like Source is reminding us to take the challenge a little bit further, not just being compassionate in our action, but also in the ways in which we think towards ourselves, towards others. So switching our thoughts, calling in more sweetness in terms of stuff. And when I think of the honeybee or honey, I think of, or something that Source has been reminding me, like if any of us are moving through any bitterness or feelings of resentment that could be coming up at this time, or even things like depression, anxiety, heaviness, honey as a literal thing that you will eat is very, very powerful in terms of like balancing those energies. So if you're feeling really heavy or depressed or not that great, you can actually sweeten up your energy literally by taking in honey. So putting honey in your tea and your kai, your food, might be helpful. It's a very powerful protector and sweetener, and might help with the compassion aspect of things if it feels a bit tough or there's a bit of resistance there. yeah, but I feel like Source is reminding us in everything that we're doing this week to take it easy, on each other. You know, there's a lot of stuff happening, and lots of people are going through different things as well. So, yeah, not being too hard on each other and not being too hard on self is what I'm hearing. But I guess still, in turn, being compassionate to ourselves does require us to be honest and speak our truth. So not suppressing ourselves and our emotions and stuff, but making sure that we're creating and creating space for others to be heard as well. Okay, let's pull from this deck and see what's up. Oh, that's so buzzy. I've just paused. I was just playing a frequency on here, and then the words that came up on the screen were about forgiveness. So I might read this out. So if anyone wants to say it to themselves, it is: I'm willing to forgive. I forgive myself for all the mistakes I have made. I forgive others for the mistakes they have made. I'm grateful for the lessons I have learned. And oh, I don't know what that last line is, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah, I'm willing to forgive. I forgive myself for all the mistakes I have made. I forgive others for the mistakes they have made. I am grateful for the lessons I have learned. Awesome. That's a nice, easy affirmation. That's what, okay. Sorry, I'm going to try not to pronounce these so bad. So we have Awu, examine what is said, not him who speaks. High Priestess. Oh, I don't know if I can say this. We have Idagba. The elephant does not limp when walking on thorns. I think this is the Chariot. We have Four of Hearts, boredom. You cannot blindfold a man and expect him to ferry you across the river. We have Eight of Hearts, withdraw. A fish that can see its water getting shallow cannot be stranded. And lastly, 10 of Pentacles, security. While the sun is shining, bask in it. Yeah, so High Priestess, Chariot. Yeah, our intuition really is going to be a directing course right now. So if you're not familiar with your intuition, it's important for you to get familiar because it looks like it's going to be a real navigating tool. Some of us might be feeling a little apathetic, is that the word? Or like, yeah, experiencing apathy. Or even potentially be feeling bored with the way that the direction of something is going. But it's important for us to release that apathy and release any feelings that might be coming up that feel like they're overwhelming us, or things that are overwhelming us at this time. It's important for us to be direct about like what we want as well, because that looks like it's going to lead us into a place of, yeah, abundance with the 10 of Pentacles and even the honeybee. There's a lot of wealth and knowledge in the process of this in the future. And this is also with the word security reminding me as well. This 10 of Pentacles is such a generational thing. It's a generational wealth as well. So the things that we are learning now are the things that we will be able to pass down. I'm also hearing like the ways in which we follow our intuition and really tap into our intuition. And I'm hearing also for like mystics, healers, yeah, it's really important to hone in on those gifts right now as well, because they're really going to bring a lot of generational wealth for us in the future. But yes, I don't know, some of us may be feeling a little bit bored surrounding this, or the direction that something is heading in, or maybe we're not really seeing the results that we want or something like that. But yeah, it just looks like our intuition and the direction that we've taken going after what we want is going to like move us out of any of that kind of energy of feeling stuck within our emotions, or like not very satisfied with the way that things are playing out. Some and then what other guidance information do you have for us, the collective, at this time? What guidance and information do you have for us, the collective, at this time? Ibi, if love is a sickness, patience is the remedy. This is the Lovers. So there's some choice. Guidance information do you have for us, the collective, at this time? We have Oshogbo. One is like a drum, which makes a lot of noise but is hollow inside. That's the Devil. And then fire was born. The cultivator is alone, but those who eat are many. Yeah, so there might be like choices that some of us are needing to make. They could even be surrounding like things of the past or habits. Habits, or like the Devil can also be like, you know, codependency and things surrounding that, like things that aren't really the most beneficial for us. So it might be time for us to make choices surrounding some of our habits, and what actually brings us balance, and balance ourselves out a little bit more. We may need to be patient with ourselves in the process as well. We could even need to be patient with others as they're making choices, or like moving through their own habits. There also could be someone, this is quite specific, there could be someone watching this that has gone through some sort of like breakup or change within a connection, and is needing to make a choice surrounding that. If this does relate to you, there does look like there is some sort of toxic or like unhealthy patterns within this connection that might need to be addressed or healed from. It might require you to look at your investments, look at the seeds that you have planted, and if they have grown you the fruitfulness that you, for the work that you have actually put in, if that makes sense. I'm also saying specifically with this connection as well that this person might be a little flaky or like immature. Okay. We also have the Tower and King of Fire. I'll just show you these quickly. So specifically for this, like, if you're in a connection that sounds like this or resonates like this, there does look like there is going to be some sort of change that actually allows this person to step more into their confidence, or it could even be you that's stepping more into your confidence, and facing a lot of big change that kind of might make you or this person look at, or both of you look at your egos and look at how your egos were attached to the codependency within this connection, or the codependency or within the codependency with certain habits or patterns. You know how you can have a relationship with something and be over dependent on something. It looks like if this is the case as well for people that aren't in a connection but have some sort of thing that is not healthy, there looks like there may be a choice, a mature choice that is needed to be made, and maybe even more of a commitment to self and releasing some past things. But moving forward, it looks like collectively, as we are going through change and maybe even a couple ego deaths, and coming into new identity, we're called to be more confident and really step into our passions. I'm doing so collectively because with the King of Fire it says together we rock. So yeah, that also reminds me of like, yeah, just unity, and really facing challenges is kind of the King of Fire energy. So maybe before, where we have shied away from a challenge, or others in our lives have shied away from a challenge, there's more of a call to step up and make a big choice or decision to actually tackle something head on. So yeah, I guess within that there's a few messages in there, but I guess collectively something is shifting that is calling us to really step up within our passions and be confident in ourselves as we tackle choices, and release like patterns and negativity that isn't really serving us anymore, essentially. Yeah, so I will leave that there. I hope that that resonates and brings some affirming and guidance where needed, and I'll talk to you all soon.